this country in 2005, running from a fear my father had. What fear exactly? A fear that his child will not come home from school. You see, in Honduras, many students get taken into gangs. While the government pretends to not see anything, many lose hope for a better future, since hope can get you killed. Meaning that if you are too hopeful, it can separate you from society and make you an easy target. My father wanted to keep my hope, but also wanted to see me be successful. Well, in his education, my father only made it to 6th grade in Honduras and did not know English. But he did not give up and went to college at UH to take basic English courses. But for me, he wanted more than basic English. Instead, my father hoped I could be somebody who had a career. My education started when my father decided to register me at Westview Elementary. To him, the idea was not frightening. For me, it was. Imagine this, being in a country where you do not understand the language, the culture, or people's intentions. Despite all my fears, I found comfort from those people that supported me and guided me. I was nervous, but I started to get the message that Westview will open me doors to new opportunities. I did not just get the support from my classmates, but also my teacher, Mrs. Goldberg, in both 1st and 2nd grade. Slowly but surely, I started to speak and read English. Many times I go back to those memories to figure out exactly what went right in my education. Every time, I make similar conclusions. If it would have not been from the support from the Westview staff, I clearly would have been a lost soul. But I saw hope when I was placed into the English Language Learner Program, which did not just help me learn to read and write, but gave me the hope I was seeking, and most importantly, educational values. Many times, they let me know they were by my side. Then came Mrs. Harvey. She inspired me many times without realizing it. She motivated me to try my best and was there for me when I was not doing well. She never gave up on me, although she did not understand Spanish. Not only that, but also Mrs. Ward always gave me a big smile and motivated me to read to succeed. I remember one day, Mrs. Ward asked me what book I was reading. I told her I was not reading any books. That day, she let me borrow some books she loved and enjoyed. This made me realize that if I was to be a great student, I needed to try hard. I finally realized that Westview to me was not a school, but another place I could call home. Not only did these teachers motivate me in the classroom, but they also pushed me to participate in clubs and activities. For instance, I remember when Mrs. Kumo and Mrs. Lipinski told me about the Go Green Club. At the start, I had no idea what the club was about. But I was informed that it was a club in which I could help the planet. Ever since that day, I made sure my parents reduce, and recycle. This club educated and inspired me to help our wonderful planet. Then in Glencrest, I joined chorus. I mention this because it changed my life without people realizing it. Mr. Rob motivated me to join him many times. I go back to this memory because he never gave up on me. You see, my parents got up to work at 6 in the morning. They could not drive me to school. I explained the problem to Mr. Rob and he gave me all the information to take the early bus. Even though I was half awake many times, I went to the practices and tried my best, although I was not the best at singing. At this moment, many of you are wondering, Yovi, how exactly did all of this affect you? Remember how in the beginning I said my father hoped for me to achieve a career and be successful? Well, while I was at Glenbard South, I made my own career. You can call it a career. It is a career where I wake up every day and try to smile and care for someone. Not only that, but as a principal, I refuse to hear anyone say they cannot do anything because I knew zero English 11 years ago, and now I am standing here speaking to you in English. This past year, I helped interpret for District 87 for parent-teacher conferences because I knew I could make a difference. Not only that, but I pushed many of my classmates to not be satisfied with taking regular classes when they were not being challenged. For example, I met this girl that was so scared of taking any honor or AP class, but a couple weeks ago she called me and told me she would be taking AP English because she felt motivated by me. I told her that I was going to help her in any possible way. This summer, she needed some books to read, which of course I had on my bookshelf. This finally made me see how the seeds planted by District 89 are growing. District 89 became my home where I was motivated, inspired, educated, and empowered by teachers, administrators, and even my classmates. To this day, I keep contact with many teachers who are willing to support me through my life. I ask you to please keep your mind open to your students, but most importantly, your heart. My hero, Abraham Lincoln, once said that some achieve great success is proof to all that others can achieve it as well. Thank you.